What's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to Fame Finder, your #1 spot for everything Cleveland Browns and beyond. If you bleed brown and orange, then buckle up, because today's news is massive. There's a huge trade rumor swirling around the NFL that could completely reshape the Browns' offense for years to come. We're talking about a blockbuster move that could bring home a hometown hero and finally give this team the firepower it desperately needs on offense. So before we dive in, do me a favor. Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another update. And most importantly, drop a comment at the end. I want your thoughts on what we're about to talk about, because this one could define the entire 2025 season. Alright, let's get into it. Chris Olave to the Browns. Yes, you heard that right. The rumor mill is heating up, and at the center of it is Chris Olave, the former Ohio State Buckeye and current Saints wide receiver. According to Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated, the Browns, along with the Steelers, made serious inquiries about trading for Olave earlier this offseason. Now, the Saints initially shut that conversation down. But don't be fooled, that wasn't a hard no forever. That was we're thinking about it disguised as a pass. Because let's look at what's happening in New Orleans. Their starting QB as of now? Tyler Shaw. Yeah, Tyler Shaw is QB1 on their depth chart. Let that sink in. This is a franchise that's quietly sliding into rebuild mode. Aging players, questionable quarterback play, and a roster that's more patchwork than playoff ready. You don't keep elite talents like Chris Olave if your roster is heading into a teardown. And Andrew Berry knows that. This is exactly the kind of situation where a savvy GM pounces. Remember how long the Jerry Jeudy trade took? That deal was on ice for over a year before it finally came together. Just because the Saints said no once doesn't mean that's the end of the story. Now let's talk strategy. If the Browns can land Olave and pair him with Jeudy, oh man, this offense goes from meh to must-watch. We're talking about two elite route runners with speed, explosiveness, and playmaking ability. A duo that could be locked in for the next 3 to 4 years. Jeudy just entered the first year of his 3-year extension. You grab Olave, pick up his 5th-year option, maybe add a 2 to 3-year extension after that. Now you're building a WR core that can help any quarterback succeed. Because let's be honest, our wide receiver room right now, it's underwhelming at best. Jeudy finished 5th on the team in receiving yards last year, and he's supposed to be our WR1. Mike Woods has barely topped 100 career yards, and he's our number 3 option. Deontay Johnson? He couldn't stick with not one, but 2 playoff teams last year. That's a red flag. You plug in Chris Olave, and suddenly, this team has legit threats on the outside. It changes the way defenses have to line up. It changes how you call plays. It gives your QB real options, and that brings us to the next bombshell. Quarterback chaos in Cleveland. Let's talk about the other major headline out of Berea. The quarterback room is a mess. Albert Breer says Joe Flacco is currently the frontrunner to start Week 1. Yeah, Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old vet who was literally on his couch last season before the Browns gave him the call. But let's give credit where it's due. Flacco came in, led this team under impossible circumstances, and actually got us into the playoffs. That's not nothing. But here's where it gets really spicy. Kenny Pickett, the former Steeler, is reportedly taking a lot of the first-team reps during OTAs. Yes, that Kenny Pickett. The one we never thought we'd see in orange and brown. And apparently, he's not just holding a clipboard, he's seriously pushing Flacco for the starting role. But wait, we're not done. The Browns also drafted Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round and picked up Shadur Sanders as a potential future franchise piece. So let's do some math. You've got Flacco, the old reliable vet. Pickett, a young, mobile QB with upside. Gabriel, a 3rd-rounder who's not getting cut. And Sanders, a long-term investment. But NFL rosters only carry 2 or maybe 3 QBs. So who's getting the axe? Do you keep Flacco and cut Pickett, even though you traded a player and a 5th-round pick to get him? Or do you cut Flacco, knowing full well he's probably your best short-term option to win games? Or do you go nuclear and cut a rookie, risking the future? This isn't just a depth chart decision. This is the kind of move that can impact the entire locker room, team morale, and even Kevin Stefanski's job security. And here's a stat that hurts. If Deshaun Watson doesn't start Week 1, the Browns will become just the 3rd team in the NFL, joining the Broncos and Commanders, to start 8 different quarterbacks in the last 10 seasons. 8. That's not consistency, that's chaos. And fans are sick of it. So what's next? That's where you come in. Should the Browns go all in on Chris Olave? Drop a Y for yes or N for no in the comments right now. And who should be under center in Week 1 against the Bengals? Do you ride with the vet Joe Flacco? Give Pickett a shot at redemption? Roll the dice with one of the rookies? Let me know in the comments, and I'll be replying to as many of you as I can. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Fame Finder, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next big update. Because trust me, if Olave ends up in Cleveland, if the Browns shock the world with a quarterback move, you're going to want to say you heard it here first. This is shaping up to be one of the most important off-seasons in Browns history. Fame Finder's got you covered every step of the way. Until next time, go Browns. Brown Circle Orange Heart American Football.